Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel SF with AK. This is Aman Kumar and I'm a 29 certified Salesforce developer, and we are continuing our Spring 26 update series. This is part 5 of the series. If you have not watched the videos, I will recommend that you go and watch the previous videos. You will find the updates very helpful and you will be able to use this in coming updates when it's live in late Jan and early February. Okay, let's start with today's video. Today we are going to talk about two topics. One is page error with error console, and then how we can use SQL in REST API using named query API. So let's start with the error console. So now we have a new feature, error console, that is for LWCs and Aura. When a page throws an error, it captures that error, and later when we want to review it, we can anytime go and review it. You don't need to wait or reproduce the error. It will be recorded in the system, and you will be able to review the error. Fatal errors will still be, on the page, and it will not let people move ahead without closing that tab or that pop-up. So let's see how we can activate the error console and how it will work. Let's head back to the org. Okay, so I'm in the org. Let's first see how it is without the error console. Let me disable the error console first. Okay, error console is disabled. Let's see how the errors were thrown before. So let's say we have a type error. You will not see anything on the page, even though the component broke in the background and you don't see anything. Even after you want to review where that error, what error was, you will be able to see it. Then there's another promise rejection that you will see. It will open and pop up, even though it was a promise, but it was not captured. And then we have console errors, which will be logged in the console, and then try catch errors that will be catch in the catch block. And now we'll see how it works with the error console. So we'll first go to setup, and in the quick find we'll type in user interface. In the user interface, you will see a new option to use error console for error reporting in Lightning Experience. We need to check this checkbox and hit save. Okay, now the error console has been enabled, and let's go back and refresh the page. You will see the error console here. You can open from here and see all the errors that has been occurred so far. So let's see same errors. So if I try the type error, I click on this and you see error console automatically popped up. If I click on the promise rejection, you'll see it popped again. So that way you can find the errors. And let's say a user handle these issues and he will not able to describe the issue, but we can go to the error console and we can find more details about the error. So we click on view detail and we will see what the error was and from where it occurred. And this will be here until we clear the list. And this is the type error. And there are multiple errors that I tried. So you can see all these errors here. So I think it would be useful to debug the broken components, or when the code throws an error and the user is not able to describe the issue, or we are not able to reproduce the error. It will be helpful in those cases. So let's move to the next topic. So we can expose SQLs in REST API using named query API. So before, if we wanted to query them using SQL, we would have to use the query API and then pass the whole SQL and then query the data. But not anymore. Now we can use named query API. In that, we can write the query beforehand in the Salesforce org, and we can just directly use the endpoint and pass the parameters. Let's see how it looks. So first of all, we need to build the query. So for that, we'll go to setup. we'll type in named query. We will see named query API. So I already have one, so let me delete that. We'll create new one so that you know how to create this. New, let's type in the name again. Let's say demo. Version, we need to define the API version, which version we want to use. In the REST API, you pass the version. So in this, you will need to pass the version here. And now we can pass a description of the name query, what this query will do. Let's say this will retrieve the account with its contacts. Now we will create our query here. Select ID, it's a name, from, account, where, name equals to, let's say, account name. This is our parameter. And now we need the context as well. So we'll select ID, say first name, last name, email, from, contacts. And we will validate this query. As soon as we validate, we will get the query parameter, account name. Now we need to pass the description for this parameter. So let's say account name to query. And we can save this. Now we'll have our endpoint here. We can just copy the endpoint from here and use any REST Explorer, or you can go and use the workbench. So we'll use REST Explorer of the Salesforce inspector. Click on REST Explorer and let's paste this query. So this is a GET request. We can have other requests if we want to test something, but we will be getting the request. And the account name will pass our account name that we want to query. So let's say we want to query this ACME sample. We'll just use that, and for the space we'll use plus, and let's send the, and as you can see, we got the record. Total we got one record because it was by name, and in that we got the contacts. We got 3 contacts, and inside that contact you will see ID, first name, last name, and the email that we passed for each contact. That's how you can utilize the named query API and query the data directly without writing the query multiple times. So you can use this query in your app and directly get the data by passing the variables and not writing the query again and again. I think it will be very helpful. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, that is it for today. We discussed how we can use error console, how it will work, how it looks, and then how we can utilize the SQL in REST API using the named query API. And if you find the video helpful, please let me know and post in comments. I'll be happy to create more videos. If I missed something, do post in the comments. Thank you.